Stage 25 of pack 7, we're going to be building the front bulkhead. So take the assembly that we had before and take the lower bulkhead from this stage, and just notice where you've got the square section, okay, and then just drop the assembly differential from the last stage in there like so, okay, and then take one of your 1680 ball bearings and put it over the drive shaft like so. Once again, do exactly the same with the other one, and then noticing on the side of the bulkhead here, got a tiny little ridge, whatever you want to call it, and you'll notice that that sits in there and spins in there. Okay, now once again, take some grease, apply some grease in there, and once you've done that, we'll then put the top of the bulkhead on and then continue with the rest of the assembly and screwing that down. So follow the instructions carefully, and don't forget a piece of paper in between, just making sure that when we put the drive section on there, making sure that it's not right up against the bearing. Okay. Now once you've done that, take the front shock stay, noticing the orientation on how it goes on, so that you've got these two parts at the back here. Alright, if you can just see those, they're going to be meeting up with these two sections here, and these two forked ones will go up to the front. Alright, so once you've done that and you're happy that they're on there, then take a couple of the 25mm long screws and then basically screw those down into position, and then the other two, screw those down onto there. Okay, once you've done that, that completes this stage. Now in stage 26 we're going to be continuing with the front differential and bulkhead. So it's quite a lot to do here, a lot of screws, a lot of bits and pieces, so very carefully follow the instructions and fit in sort of like the screws and the plates, and we're going to go ahead and screw these down, and what we'll do is we'll come back in a certain part just to make sure that we're all happy with the way that that's looked and things are screwed down nicely. Okay. Now, as you can see, we've gone through steps 1 to 35 in the instructions. Okay, so this is where we are at the moment, and we're now going to start connecting these two parts that we've just assembled onto the main chassis, which will then complete stage 26. Take the left wishbone parts and notice that they've got the L on there for left, and once you've done that, just put the two parts together as shown and also in the instructions, and then just put the screw in, the long one with the screw and the thread, and then just tighten that up so that you've got that. Do exactly the same to the right hand side one. Okay. Next, take the two shafts and take the C-clips and just gently put the C-clips on the end of one of the shafts, like so. We've got one, two. Okay, once you've done that, get the chassis ready. I'm going to be fitting the front wishbone assemblies that we did previously onto the chassis. Now, take the right wishbone, place that in that position. Okay, line up the holes, and then take the shaft, place the shaft through, put a piece of tissue on there if you don't want to scratch it, but considering you're going to be taking it off-road, I wouldn't worry too much about that. And then push the shaft through until it comes to the other side. Once you've done that, place a C-clip on the end of that shaft, and then do exactly the same with the left-hand side. In stage 28, we're going to be assembling the front upper suspension arms and then fitting them to the front of the chassis. So look carefully at the instructions and follow the procedures as we assemble these front upper suspension arms. Okay, so we've both those assembled. We're now going to be attaching that to the chassis. So once again, retrieve the chassis, and then following the instructions, we're going to be then placing those into their relevant positions. And as you can see, going by the instructions and on the pictures, just gently follow the procedure. Okay, once you've done that, do exactly the same to the other side. And that completes this stage.